Welcome to Surviving This Together, another Survivor podcast. This is where we're discussing the fourth episode of Season 35, Heroes, Healers, and Hustlers. I'm Levi.
I'm Lori.
And I'm Brandon. And I feel the exact same amount of comfortable as I did last week.
Well done, well done.
So, don't kick me out of the podcast.
Would you feel more comfortable if you had a big old jug of iced coffee?
Probably not.
Coffee is known for its calming effects.
Yeah, I would just be more hyper aware of how uncomfortable I am.
I haven't eaten in a week and a half. I need a gallon of coffee.
Did that help save Rorik? Did she even get coffee? No, she didn't get coffee.
Did they lose both challenges? They didn't lose both challenges, did they?
Yeah, because Ryan really botched that challenge.
Let's talk this reward challenge. I think it was really the epicenter and highlight of this episode.
Of the season, let's be honest.
Yeah,
this is the best
I mean, like,
challenge.
we should just... If they did every single... like, this was one of the first challenges in a very long time, maybe years, where I was just, like, super into it and watching it and actually, like, laughing out loud. Especially, like, Desi went for it. She killed it in both competitions, but in this one specifically, she was just, like, bamming her face into the ground. Like, she gave no cares about what was happening.
Yeah, I could watch Desi smash her face into the ground over and over again.
I felt so bad for Ryan, but he, like, had this, like... He didn't give up, which props to him. Like, he was trying just as hard at the beginning of his attempt as he was at the end of his attempt. And even Jeff was like, he's gotten the ball closer to the top and he's gotten it yet. Where Jeff was just like, I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah, no, poor Ryan. Like, but yeah, no, he was a champ. He just kept on fighting. I mean, like, that was rough. That was rough for him. And I'm surprised they didn't come up. They were talking about, like, moving ahead, like, with a stronger team, and, like, it never came up that Ryan kind of botched that competition during Tribal.
Well, and Allie said it when she said, I don't really care about competition performance at this point. At this point, it's just a numbers game. And who am I going to have on my side if we do lose?
And he handled it really well when they went back to camp. Like, he took responsibility, but not in a way, like, there are a few times where people, they take responsibility for sucking, but you can tell that they kind of want the pat on the back. Like, no, it's okay. And he was like, guys, I goofed it up. Wow, that was horrible. I did nothing. And then, like, made it a joke. Like, he wasn't seeking pity or wasn't trying to make them comfort him. Like, he was just owned up to it and kind of, like, made a joke and then moved on.
Yeah. I remain a Ryan fan.
I am officially on Team Ryan.
Me too.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, Brandon, you've been there for, like, a while.
No, the first episode I was not. And then the second episode, I was fully on board. And now I'm just like, yeah.
Choo-choo on that Ryan train.
Chew, chug-a-chew. Choo-choo on the Ryan train.
This was one of the first times that there was a food challenge that I actually was like, yeah, these are all great ideas. Like, a lot of times I've mentioned before, like, I think the booze is, like, the worst thing that you could win.
Did you catch Ryan chugga-chugga saying, this is going to run right through us, but I don't even care?
I did not.
Well, yeah, go back and watch it.
Maybe I will.
If I had gone 15 days without coffee, I would have chugged that entire thing and would not have thought twice.
I'm just imagining you, like, hulking out. Like, you chug it. Like, yeah!
Yes!
Chugga-chugga.
I wonder how a person would react after having caffeine withdrawals for like 2 weeks. Let's talk about Levu, the former Heroes tribe.
Yeah, I'm pretty glad that we got very little Joe this episode. Like, I knew last episode and the episode before that I was already just, like, over Joe, but I didn't realize how much until I didn't have him, and it was better for it.
Yeah, I'm a little burnt out on Joe.
There was a big concern that this episode was going to be Levu tribe going to tribal and drawing rocks. I mean, and that's still a possibility if they go to tribe as a current divide that they have.
Yeah, so pretty much all we got from them was Ashley and Devin planning on talking to Desi about getting her to flip over with them and vote Joe out.
If they had gone to tribal, what do you think? I mean, it's hard to guess, but do you guys think that Desi would have flipped on Joe right now?
I think that she might have after rather than draw rocks. I think if then again maybe Joe would be willing to draw rocks because like that guy's like a kind of a self-serving guy. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think after they tied it up, I think she'd vote with Joe at first, and then I think she'd flip on him.
Wouldn't that be great if that happened, but then they both flipped, causing another split?
No. I don't think I could handle that.
I think it's in Desi's best interest to keep him around for a while because, like, he apologized to her and stuff. Like, unless she completely double crosses him, I don't see him turning on her. Like, I think she kind of has him on lockdown, and I don't think anybody else is really going to be willing to work with him, like, one-on-one like she is right now. So, like, he has nobody else to turn to, so he's reliant on her.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, like, it's not like she's gonna get together with, like, Ashley or Devin, really, at this point. Like, she just has to... I don't know, but then again, like, I think her odds of making it to merge are going to be about the same with or without Joe. Like, if Joe goes, then, yeah, that means she survived another vote. You know, like the chance of her and Joe taking over. I don't know if I see that.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Well, I don't see her not making merge at this point, assuming we don't do a bunch more flipping. So, like, for her now, it's like she's playing the post-merge game. And I think Joe being around for her for at least a few, like, votes into that serves her well. Plus,
Yeah,
like...
Do you think she should go to Rocks for Joe?
I think it'd be easier than it seems to pull Devin in.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
that's true.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's Ashley making worst case scenario, like, doomsday, because, like, Ashley, like, at this point, Ashley just lost the only other person from her original tribe, so she's grasping at all straws and trying to get everybody else scared.
Yeah.
Like, Ashley, or, Desi and Joe kind of run it. It's 2 to 1 to 1. So if they can just pull in one of those other two people, Devin is right there.
I don't know. It seems like they're talking about, like, rock draws, like maybe it does come up still, like they're building up for when that does happen. I'm just talking about from an editing standpoint. Like, if they put it in the episode, maybe they were trying to just not make it clear who was going to tribal, but then again, maybe they were trying to put that seed out there for when it comes up later. Be like, oh yeah, in that last episode they were talking about that happening. I mean, it could be either. I mean, who knows? But
well, it's true. We're seeing a lot of, like, rock draw scenarios, and nothing's happening with them. And it's kind of interesting this early in the game to see rock draws, and I think that's maybe an advantage of the three tribes, is the smaller tribes maybe force ties more often.
How about that new immunity idol? The one
What?
the one that Dr. Mike found. How do you feel about the way Dr. Mike found this immunity idol?
How do you feel about it?
I like it. I thought that was really smart, and I'm glad that they did it as a pair.
Yeah, Jessica even she had her whole little bit where she was like, basically saying, okay, Cole can't keep secrets. It's not in my best interest to keep working with him. I need to bond with Mike. Which, I really liked the scene where, like, he was digging, and I was half expecting, I mean, he was wearing, like, a jacket. Like, he had plenty of spaces to hide it.
Yeah, I think it was smart of her to let him find it, you know, to look for it and find it. That way he trusts her. This is her decision to say, you get it. I'm basically giving it to you.
Yeah, it'll also show him that she's not telling Cole, which I think is a big, like, hey, I'm on your team more than his, like, you and I over me and him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when they first showed that, like, I was half convinced that he was going to, like, stick it in his pocket and be like, well, I give up. I can't find it.
He had one line that was super cute where he's like, my kids are going to be so proud of me, which is just like the most like dad thing where he's like, they're going to think I'm so cool. They'll find me and think I'm awesome. We really got a lot of Cole, and this was some of Lauren being impressive where she was just like disgusted. But like she had a confessional where she's like, yeah, it's super annoying and gross, but like I'm going to let him keep doing it because everybody else sees it too.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those things, like, I think that's just one of those things, like, he's a little bit gross, but I don't think it's, like, a game killer kind of obnoxious. Like,
I think he's already, like, annoying everybody enough that each thing he does, just like Lauren said, like, digs his hole a little bit deeper to where it's, like, their shared food that they won. Like, this is a luxury to them, and he's just, like, dipping his whole hand in. Like, she's like, he itches his butt and then puts his hand back in the food.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
real gross.
I don't think that's going to be a game changer for him, though. Like, I think the whole, like,
I don't think it's a game changer,
lies,
but I think, I think it compiling on everything else, like, it's just another notch of to, like, why Cole is annoying. Like, making, like, before it was, like, they were ruining gameplay, and now he's making camp life a little bit worse.
Can I remind you both of Patrick Bolton? How Lauren was so annoyed with him that she took him out. I love Lauren's character, that she's just the older lady that's so annoyed with these young guys.
And she's not doing shit. She's just letting him. She's like, this will take care of itself.
She just walks around and she's like, God, that's so annoying. I'm so annoyed.
We got a good bit from Ben here. There was like a loud crackle or a pop or something at camp, and he's a veteran and he has PTSD, and he got to tell a really cool story about like mission 1 is to win so he can win the money for his family, but it's also what it means to him is that he can show other veterans and PTSD sufferers that like, hey, you can do big awesome things even though you're dealing with this other thing. Like it doesn't end there, which I think was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, this was a good moment. It was kind of like that time that Chrissy and Ryan were like hugging and getting along. This was like the feel good moment, where he's like, yeah, it's a problem I have, and I'm trying to get over it, and I want people to understand this is like a thing. I thought it was really nice that they put that in there, that he was just so open with the confessional camera crew about it.
Yeah,
Sure.
And this is really what I love about Survivor. I don't want to say that I like watching him struggle with his PTSD, but I like watching real people deal with real things out there, within the confines of this weird social bubble.
It's what I like too, is like no matter how dirty the game gets, I mean, there's been some castmates that have not gone with this, but when it comes down to it, where if like somebody's hurt or there's an actual issue, that like everything kind of stays in the game, and what needs to be left out of the game is left out. I know Levi is not a fan of analyzing the edit, but I gotta admit, when I saw Rourke getting some time, I was immediately nervous for her, because like it was seriously like, oh, here she is. Oh no, oh they haven't. Oh, she's getting some time.
See, I don't, and I didn't. I just figured she was on a tribe of 5 people that were going to tribal, so they had to show her.
I have a couple of opinions about the Rourke situation. She was the swing vote, and for once the swing vote wasn't the person in charge of who was going home. And second of all, like, we didn't get to see a whole lot of Rourke until this episode. And this is the episode where I found out that she was like the super fan, like they talk about it in the episode, which is something they hadn't really talked about before. And I generally root for the super fans. It's part of why I'm rooting for Ryan this season. But also, I guess I get the impression, although they never really showed it, that the way that Chrissy was talking about Rourke being kind of a know-it-all, like it sounds like she's been like openly like, I'm the super fan, I know how to do everything. But we didn't see any of that. But that's the impression I'm getting. Did you guys get that vibe?
I didn't. The impression did you get that during the like Rourke Chrissy talk?
Yeah.
So that actually went with a pregame assumption I had about Chrissy. Like I really like Chrissy, but I think she's trying really hard to prove how amazing she is. And I think Rourke is equally as amazing, and Chrissy was trying to reaffirm that like, Rourke, you're not in control, I'm in control. And like Rourke kind of the times that Chrissy got really annoyed with Rourke was when Rourke was literally being like, hey, you just said that, but this is what actually happened. Like, you just said you spoke with Allie, but you didn't speak with me, so how's that two-way road going? And she was like, I have no further comment, I'm not saying anything else. So it was when like Rourke was kind of calling her out on her like almost lies that Chrissy got really annoyed with her.
Yeah, so let's set this up, because their relationship this episode was really, really intense.
Yeah.
So they have immunity and they lose because Chrissy messed that up for their tribe. Jeff said balls a lot. Sorry.
Those are my favorite.
Me
No,
too.
I don't think Chrissy messed up on the challenge, though. She was, like, legit trying to, like, pass it off.
No,
like, yo,
I disagree.
I'm not doing good.
No, okay, she was doing the thing where she said, do you guys want to switch? And then she wouldn't give them time to answer, kicked off her shoes, and then got back up there. Like, she was asking them, but she wasn't disengaging. So it was a clear, like, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm engaged. Like, she didn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, she had no real intention of hopping off there unless somebody else forced her off, I don't think. But either way, they get back to camp. Allie and Rorik start talking, and Rorik tells Allie that she has the numbers from the old healers when they make the merge. And Allie likes that for some reason. That would have made me nervous if I were Allie, to have somebody telling me, at the merge, I have a lot of numbers.
Yeah, the healers, I think, are potentially the strongest. Well, I mean, like, they didn't really go to immunity, or to tribal, did they?
No, they had never gone. This was
yeah,
their first...
no, Rourke is the first healer out.
Yeah, so I think Allie really misplayed this. And I think that she's actually going to be kind of relieved with Ryan after Ryan kind of spells it out for her.
That all-girl alliance was shifty, because, like, Chrissy was the one who said the words first.
Yeah, she's
and
a
then
shark.
she went up to JP.
Yeah,
She
no, I
went up
thought
to
that was
JP.
I thought that was a great move the way she pulled that off. I mean, it pretty much swung it for her in this vote.
Who was it last time? It was Devin, I think, that they were trying to, like, trick, and he's like, yeah, I'm not buying that. Do you think that if it was anybody other than JP, like, Chrissy in the past has said that she doesn't think JP is that bright, so do you think if, like, she had tried to pull this with somebody else, it would have worked as easily? Because JP immediately was like, yeah, I want her out now.
That's a good point. I really thought Ryan would have heard this from Allie from Rourke. So I figured
Yeah.
Allie would have went trying and said, Rourke just told me that Chrissy wants to do an all-girl alliance. So I thought that Ryan was going to get this from both angles. I love when people use stuff like this, just like straight up lies that nobody's ever said.
Kind of like Chrissy lying about her age. It's like, how big is the reward here? So, like, if she had somehow gotten busted on this, I think it would have been more, I think the risk, I mean, it worked out for her, so I'm wrong. It's just like, anytime I see this, I'm like, does the risk outweigh the reward? Because, like, if this blows up, it blows up big time.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I think as far as Ryan going against what Allie wanted, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I said it earlier. I think Allie's going to actually be a little relieved. You know, Ryan will go back to Allie. Allie will go back to Ryan. However, he put him in a really bad spot if they have to go back to Tribal.
I could see them definitely having to go back to Tribal.
Me too.
Well, yeah, but I think that Ryan's good with Chrissy. I don't know how Ryan is with JP, but he's good with Chrissy, and I think Allie will forgive him, at least until merge.
If it had been the other way around, like if we're in an alternate universe where Rourke stays and Chrissy went, I think Rourke's going to make it farther in the game than Chrissy. I think she's obviously very smart, and she's also very aggressive, and she makes no qualms. Like, she's not trying to hide how much of a shark she is.
I don't know, though. Like,
Yeah.
I do believe in the alpha males and the alpha females tend to make it further, and if Chrissy's an alpha female, like, I think that she's going to do pretty good, and I don't think Rourke had that.
I think it's different. Like, Ashley, I think, is an alpha female who, like, you can't be all guns a-blazing all the time, or you're going to have the biggest, and as we saw today, like, Chrissy's maybe not the best at challenges. Like, I think if Desi were playing this hard, she might be able to be okay because she could, like, back it up. She could protect herself. But, like, Chrissy, her personality and stuff, and how she's playing it, and how she's burning as many bridges as she can for.
See, I totally disagree. I think she's calculated enough to know how hard she needs to play in the situation she's in. I think she knew that this tribal was a big one for her, where if she didn't fight this hard, she would have gone. And so it's just one of those things where it's like, she knew what she had to do to stay in, and like, maybe at the merge, she's going to know, hey, I don't have to fight as hard on these, so I'm going to lay low a little bit. But this time, she just had to use some of that energy.
I'm thinking of, like, how she interacted with Allie, even at Tribal. And, like, Allie.
Oh.
Like, how it got petty. Like, they all got a little bit petty. And, like, when she got called out on stuff, she just shut down.
That's true.
I think that's really not great, where she's like, no comment.
Yeah.
I was surprised she didn't use her expired idol in this.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that would have just gotten really messy.
Yeah, and I guess if it got back to Ryan, it could be a problem.
Yeah, we still haven't seen a lot of Desi. She's like a player that we still don't know a lot about too.
I did see Desi at the immunity challenge I really liked, because we got JP, who everybody's like, he's the big beefy man. And we also had, I think, either Cole or Devin, I can't tell them apart, I apologize, on another beam, like, carrying the giant rice bags. And then, like, they're kind of struggling, like, to balance and weight them. And then Desi's, like, she's small, but she's built, just, like, darted across, like, carrying this, like, epic rice bag and just, like, smoked him. And it was great.
I think this is one of the best women casts in a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's true. I can get behind
I
that.
am 90. I want Dr. Mike's my win pick, but I'm 98% sure we get a woman winner this year.
Yeah, Chrissy's
Every
looking
woman
like a
is
strong
so
player.
impressive to me.
Yeah. No, I have Ashley as my win pick. Like, I don't think it might work out, but not in the way that I was envisioning before the game started. But yeah, this is a great cast. Except for I was just saying, like, all those nice things about Ashley, but unfortunately, she is really readable. It's you know, if you're gonna go to tribal council with her and there's a hidden immunity idol on the line, you're just gonna have her wear a mask or something, because she's gonna She's gonna let people know with those looks.
Okay, so do you think that Joe actually read? I think it was more him saying, like, I read your face, and Ashley being like, I'm not messing with this dude. Yeah, you're right.
That's exactly what I thought. I think she was just like, yeah, way to go. That was really good. That was a great job, man.
I
You
agree
really
as
played
well.
me. I'm an idiot. I can't believe how good you are.
So you get to Tribal, and Rourke gets to light her torch, and it stays lit for about 30 seconds.
I liked it. It was a good tribal. I really didn't know who was going home. Like I thought Chrissy was staying. But I gave it her like a 55% chance of staying. This was a good tribal.
Yeah, this was really heated. I can't believe how intense it was for this tribe going to their first tribal together.
Yeah.
These three chicks were duking it out.
Well, and like it wasn't even along the tribe lines, because Rourke should have been the swing vote amongst the groups, but instead it was Ryan who was the swing vote. Yeah, I think Ryan's doing a really good job positioning himself, and he did have to hurt somebody this time, but I think he ended up hurting somebody that will forgive him. I hope.
And if not, like, I think Chrissy will need him more than Allie will. Because, like, Allie is super nice. Like, people like her.
Yeah.
Like, she's more outwardly likable than Chrissy, I think, to the rest. Like, she's more digestible, so she'll be able to bounce around a lot better. Whereas I think Chrissy will need Ryan's numbers more.
I don't know. I think
Allie has no choice but to work with him if they go again.
Oh,
if
yeah,
she doesn't want to work with him, she's the vote out.
I will say Rourke's closing statements were perfect. I loved it, where she was like, I love people who play hard, but I also, like, when you lose, it's like, even in board games or anything, like, if you lose, you gotta be like, I respect that. Because, like, you don't want to be beat by somebody stupid, that, like, worse than you. So, like, for her to be like, you got me, I could have done something, I didn't do something, that's my fault. Like, if that is so much better than saying, like, no regrets. Like, you should have regrets. You messed up.
Yeah, no, that's one of my pet peeve on any of these shows, and they vote out, like, I regret nothing. I'm like, dude, you should regret everything that got you voted out. So that next time you play, if you play again, you will not do those things. Aha.
Yeah, I would love to see her come back. And I was thinking that when she was giving her closing statements, she was so humble about it. She wasn't bitter. She just said, I didn't do what I needed to do to win. And I would love to see her come back and play again because I loved her fire at Tribal.
I'm into it.
Yeah, no, it was really classy the way she went out. Much like Alan. Alan went out really classy. Rourke went out really classy. Yeah, they took the hit well.
Who would have thought Patrick, would be the one?
Yeah, yeah. No, I was really team Patrick. That was too bad to see that moment turn so negative.
Brandon?
Lori.
What do we have in Facebook Corner?
We have quite a bit about Rourke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this person says, I literally didn't know Rourke existed until tonight's episode, so tonight was blindsiding an invisible player. And then the other person says, bye-bye, Rourke. Thank God I was so tired of listening to her.
What?
I know. I'm like, when did you listen to her? Let me know, because I would love to go watch that.
I don't...
Yeah, so different ends of the spectrum. One person was just sick of watching her. The other person was like, who's that? This person says, I think this is in bad taste that some are wearing underwear. It's not attractive. They need to put a stop to that. It's gross. Thoughts?
That's ridiculous.
I mean, we didn't get...
Facebook was up in arms about people in underwear and about how those poor girls' boobies were going to fall out. This is the point in the season where Facebook starts getting really upset about bras and underwear and wondering why they don't have swimsuits. Apparently Survivor gives them swimsuits in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember them complaining about that in interviews and stuff.
Yeah, so anybody worried about it, listen to me. It's gonna be okay. It will be fine.
What's so funny to me? So, bikinis, right? That's what most of the women wear.
Mm-hmm.
They're bras and panties. Like, that's what bikinis are. I mean, like, granted, they have, like... I mean, maybe not the... Like, the bikinis are the same top. It's, like, almost the same material. And, like, a lot of girl underwear is also...
Well...
What?
And let's be clear. Yeah. One guy went in there wearing a turtleneck, and people gave him crap, too.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah, it's like it's either too much or too little. There's no nice in between. Nobody says, you know what, that guy's t-shirt, just the right amount. Good for him. Saying.
This next one is for Lori. Evan says, Dr. Mike is pretty cool, though. Rooting for him in the same way I supported Cochran or Adam in past seasons.
I like how they say, though, like, this is a standalone comment, and they're, like, trying to convince themselves, like, you know what, he's okay.
Yeah, it's people are coming around. This person said, first 5 minutes, Survivor, you're not supposed to make me cry. Thank you for your service, Ben. Thanks, Ben.
I actually saw somebody being
like
kind
it.
of mean to him on Twitter. I was actually going to try to like look it up, and then I decided not to because it was depressing. Somebody was accusing him of showboating and trying to get attention.
I don't even forget about those losers.
Well, not just it. I'm like, yo, he was just being open.
And when it comes down to it, like, it's an actual issue he has, and he had to step off. So, like, if he has to step off, the producers and the cameramen and everybody else are going to, like, ask him about it. And he's going to either say, I don't want to talk about it, or, like, he turned it into a teaching lesson, a teaching moment.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Give us one more, whichever one you just read, please.
They all go poop together after they drink the coffee. Thanks, everyone, for listening to this episode of We're Surviving This Together. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at survivingthistogether@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter